Alright, now I'm sure like myself you like living in a little bit of chaos, but sometimes chaos isn't always that good. Take my tool chest for example. The drawers, as you can see, are mostly in a chaotic state, so I do plan on tidying them up. How am I going to do that? Well, there's only one solution as far as I'm concerned, and that's using shadow foam. Now when I was at Make Essential recently, I went to the shadow foam store and bought 3 large sheets of 1 metre long, and they really do tidy up the drawers, as you'll see by this. When cutting shadow foam, it always helps to make sure you've got really sharp scalpel blades. I only actually had 2 spare ones, so I had to make sure I got the most out of the blades. I've got all the pieces cut for the drawers, 2 which are 50mm, and there's one that's 70mm deep. So what you do is you get a 50mm, a 30mm, you spray some glue adhesive on them, stick them together, use that as your layer. However, it seems that when I was at the stand I had my list of the drawers and the dimensions, and it seems between myself and the lass who was serving us, we miscalculated slightly. So I have got a little piece here spare, all of this 30mm and a full 50mm sheet. After you decide which tools are going to go into the drawer, next comes laying them out. This helps you to see how they will fit and which tools are maybe better suited. You'll more likely change your mind on the layout and even the tools for that particular drawer. Make sure you keep watching as this scenario comes up later on. Cutting out the foam. To start with, you're essentially tracing around the tool as if you're tracing around it with a pencil onto a piece of paper. Then when you remove the tool, press down the foam and you will be able to see the first cut. Next, with the scalpel, make the cut a little bit deeper, or as deep as you need to, then pull back the foam. Once the foam is removed, try the tool to make sure it fits well. You may have to remove more foam depending on the depth of the tool itself. So it looks quite good, that, doesn't it? But I've done a usual mistake. I haven't cut the foam for the bottom 2 drawers wide enough. I just naturally presumed they were all the same width, but as you'll see from this, I was wrong. Now remember, I had this spare, so what I'm going to do is trim this down, and any thin narrow tools which I think are missing, it might go in there at a later date, but if anybody asks, that was by design. Yeah, by design. It could be one of the oldest excuses known to mankind. However, when you spare money, you could get away with it. This drawer is a good example of what I mentioned earlier about trying a layout and then changing it by removing tools and altering how you place the actual tools. So we're on to the last drawer, which is the deep drawer. going to have to cut a lot further down for, well, I suppose all the items, so that's going to be fun. Off camera I have worked on the rest of these. Screwdriver, this, which still sticks up a little bit, but it just means when I open and close the drawers I've just got to push it down a bit. Got left to do is this. So I thought I'd take you through what I'm going to do with it. Now I need to get the clearance for this, so that's about 50mm. So that's how deep I need this to go. Currently at 30. 20mm is up to this point here. So I'm just going to start down here. I can feel this blade has already been coming a bit blunt. So it's a good job that this is the last one I've got to do. So you've seen us using these. These actually come from Shadow Foam. You can buy on their website, and they're called spinners. And it's just used to flatten out the surface. And also I use them just to go a little bit deeper when I need to go down a little bit. Another job done. The drawers are all looking really good. Might have been a bit of a struggle at times, but got through it. And now at least the bottom drawers match the two top drawers, but it does leave us with these three smaller ones, which I've got to look at and do, or redo the middle one anyway at one point. And then I've got to find a home for the things like the needle files and the spare saw blades, but that'll be in a, well, that won't probably be in a video. I'll just find somewhere to dump them. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one.